me feeling like I'm academics. Can't
Back to this. Trap Lord Ross. Like, yeah, so Trap Lord Ross reacted to what did I say about Trap Lord Ross? I didn't say nothing crazy, right? Like, did I? Maybe I did, right? He reacted to me, commenting on his doc. Let's see if we could. Oh yeah. This is right here. So no. Wait. Fuck. Right here. Okay.
You've been upset.
Okay, it says DJ Akademiks calls him out. Which chat? Did I call him out? I don't really know if I called him out. Like, I'm forgetting a little bit what I said, but I feel like I was just trying to have a nuanced discussion about it because I understand. Number one, I'm the nigga who did War in Chirac. Everybody could eat a dick. I don't give two fucks. Like, it happened. I don't care. And I don't care when people talk about the War in Chirac. I only hate when niggas is saying that I popped off because of that. I never popped off because of the War in Chirac. That is not why I became Akademiks. That was a dope niche series. That was one of the defining things that I've done in my career. But it's like you saying that I popped off because of Everyday Struggle. I didn't pop off because of Everyday Struggle. You get what I'm saying? It's like, no. It's like you saying I popped off because of my coverage with Meek Mill and Drake. Yes, that's one of the most important parts of my career. But, bro, I started doing album reviews, and I started doing, like, these, like, opinion pieces and, like, news pieces back in 2012, 2013, right? Actually, 2011, I'm sorry. I started back then. So, like, when people say, yo, he popped off because of War in Chirac, I used to, like, try to entertain him. Now I tell all of them to eat a dick. Straight up. Eat a whole dick. So I understand, though, the War in Chirac thing. So I wouldn't ever really shame Trap Lord Ross for some of the things that, what people would call federal. Because, a lot of people are calling War in Chirac federal. Now, I don't remember exactly what I said about his doc. I think all I said was, it's actually, let me play it. I want to react to what he saw because I don't know what I said.
A lot of people I'm cool with have been upset, and it's okay. We don't have to agree about everything. We don't have to be on the same page about everything. I do what I do, and I'm very good at it. Okay, you guys got to do what you do, and you guys, are you good at it or you're not? Well, only time will tell, right? And one person who is very, very, very good at what they do is the guy, DJ Akademiks. Okay, I would always take Akademiks' advice seriously.
Yo, I don't remember criticizing him. I might have to call him on the phone.
When I linked with Akademiks in Las Vegas after I got pressed by mean anything to him, but to me, I was like, whoa, like you just blew my mind. I've locked in with some advice.
I don't judge Vlad for putting out this story. Anyway, Trap Lord Ross has responded after he's made this elaborate documentary saying NBA Youngboy has 19 bodies. Okay,
elaborate for sure.
Let me quickly jump into.
Baton Rouge police are looking into a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a local rapper when unknown.
All the bodies when I said 19 bodies, you all said it's cap. All the guys on Reddit say, I know where you're gonna find. He ain't gonna find all 19. Bruh, shut up. 19 bodies, you all said it's cap.
Okay, I'm just trying to see what I said because, I know I wasn't tripping, but I don't remember me calling him out like, yo, this is crazy and whack. I know a lot of people are trying to say that to him, like, yo, bro, you're the police, this and third. I think my nuanced, like, kind of conversation about it was, it's a catch-22. Yo, if this dude made a video saying Youngboy's lying, he's never killed anyone, the fans are gonna hate him, right? If he confirms what Youngboy himself is claiming, fans still hate him. It's a catch-22. Now, the only thing I could think about, and this is before I watch it, so maybe I was drunk when I said it, but usually my drunk mind always speak what I mean. Usually, the only thing I could think about is if you're just being sensationalist and you're like trying to grab things that could be for a good documentary, right? Which is the title, which is 19 bodies, and inadvertently, because you're maybe reaching and just doing it for a documentary that is going to bring in attention, you inadvertently kind of then bring maybe not necessarily unwanted attention, but like you kind of like get this person hemmed up a little bit, but not necessarily, because I refuse to believe any hip-hop journalists or whoever could really get you hemmed up if you didn't do anything, but it could inconvenience you, right? Like, you don't want people looking at you if, this is just not the truth. But then I got to be also fair. Youngboy said it himself. It's not like they just randomly claim that or randomly just start researching. But let me hear.
All the guys on Reddit say, "Oh, no way you're gonna find." He ain't gonna find all 19. Bruh. Shout out to my team and me. All right. Shout out my label. That's me. And shout out my team. It's lit.
The local rapper.
Baton Rouge police say the local rapper was shot and killed at his home at Lakeside Villa Apartments on Wellwood Drive after midnight.
Deadly shooting of a student walking home from school.
Minutes into the doc. All right. And the amount of dumbasses that didn't even watch the video talking about, "Oh, ain't no way you got 19 bodies. Oh yeah, he just paid." Yeah, I know he paid. Yeah. Over 7 times, never seen my shooter, real grave digger, contract business. Yes, I know. Watch. He's literally surrounded by shooters at all times, with a number of the most notorious shooters in the South being affiliated with his NBA or Never Broke Again record label and his alleged gangster rap empire.
Great job of compiling information. And I still believe that for the most part, unless he's changed his style, he's going off public information. He's not saying, hey, I have confirmed this with the police or I have a source that no one can verify. He is basically regurgitating, but put it in a nice package, what is out there openly. By the way, same thing I did in the Warren shot racking when people thought I had like privy to information. No, I knew how to Google. So I guess the difference here is, maybe I didn't do documentary style stuff. So I did like news-based type stuff. So if someone got shot at or someone died, I would just do the video based on that.
I know what I said.
Trap lore, he's getting like a lot of flack because here's the thing. It's one thing to say, oh, let's cover this one incident. It's another thing to drive a narrative that, hey, there's 9.
Yes, I think it was the narrative, right? But then, I guarantee I knew I said this. I know I said this because I think logically, right? Like, I'm not like a retarded nigga like Mano and them niggas. The next logical leap would be, well, Youngboy, you can't blame him for just driving the narrative when Youngboy himself says 19 bodies, right? So then you kind of look at it and, it becomes a little more complex.
19 murders connected to a guy, right? So anyway, he's been getting a lot of backlash.
And so this isn't me arguing with Akademiks, but it's just like, I feel like it's interesting because he's talking about the backlash and it makes sense. But it's like, I just want to keep reminding people every step of the way, like, bro, Youngboy is the one who said he got 19. If Youngboy had never popped out saying he got 19 bodies, bro, this wouldn't even be a conversation. This wouldn't even be like this wouldn't be a debate. It wouldn't be a video. It wouldn't have happened. Like, there wouldn't be the many murders of NBA Youngboy, the 19 bodies. There wouldn't be a thing. He said he got 19 bodies. Okay, and I've made it very clear. I already did a response, okay, but I just want to respond to. There's not.
Wait, by the way, I remember also my train of thought too. I then later said, it's very interesting. Is very interesting. Hold on one second. Okay. My bad, chat. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah.
Not really responding to Ak, but basically just like understanding what somebody who's at the very top of the hip hop culture and is very relevant and important, and somebody whose opinion I value, what he thinks of this whole thing. And I feel like Ak is going to do a very good job of like toeing the line as far as like throwing me some bail and defending the fact that I'm doing this for public info, but then also like keeping it real and showing love to the NBA guys that he got. Been saying for 3 years now. I feel like I'm well within my right.
Okay. Now.
That comment was gold. I ain't gonna lie to you. That comment was gold. That comment was just like, oh boy. I've got all the answers. I got all the answers in the get backs. And I'm gonna lie, everyone was hating on me so hard. And then when I did my response, and it was just made in the bottle, bro.
You're the feds, not the rapper who said it. I completely understand.
All right, here we go.
Here's where I see it. I agree with him on rappers being hypocritical, right? A rapper will say, yo, 7 murders in my hometowns, tell the feds I did that, right? Now, when you go make a video about it and actually spell it out, you're the feds, not the rapper who said it. I completely understand where he's saying,
yeah,
rappers will say something, and even if you think they're just saying it on face value or they're being facetious, they will say it in a way where they're...
Now, okay, great. I got the same train of thought, and I'm going to flush it out a little bit more. I'm a little bit more sober. But again, I keep telling you it's always the same thoughts. As a hip-hop media personality, I've been the person that have been the person to be blamed. It's culturally. I'll give you an example. I don't want to use Youngboy because we love him and we don't want to speak anything to existence, right? Let's say King Von. King Von was kind of like, hinting a lot to him having 7 bodies. If King Von had gotten arrested, the majority of, and I'm not talking about grown-up, higher-level conversation, but the majority of the lowbrow Twitter, fan pages and people who would just say shit, they'll be like, yo, he got locked up because this nigga over here made a video saying he's the one who killed so-and-so. They neglect to say, wow, our favorite rapper is a murderer. That's not a good thing. And shit, if he got caught, especially if he said it at some point himself, he's a fucking idiot. The blame always goes on the journalist for rappers getting caught. Like, I would see me covering, even a case or sometimes just looking at videos that's available from let's say someone died, and fans would blame you being the person who's an interested party and media member for someone getting locked up rather than blaming the person and their actions and then subsequently admitting to the shit online. And that's a natural thing. Fans do not blame the rapper. Like King Von fans, right? I'll give you a better example. Maybe not King Von. Most fans don't say, yo, he's in jail because he killed that nigga. They usually say, man, he got locked up because niggas told on him. Man, he got locked up because so-and-so did so-and-so. They never ever come to terms to say, that nigga's incarcerated because he did the murder. And then he said he did the murder. That led to people investigating him. That led to his girl getting questioned. That led to his girl telling on him. You know what they said? Man, fuck that bitch, man. Why she tell on my nigga, man? They don't think about anything else. That's very normal.
They're standing on whatever, but as soon as you mention it, it's fan work. Now, there's a few things.
Now, shout out to Ak, because I feel like that's a very level-headed response, and he's actually, taken the time to listen and understand, even though there's just a 2-minute clip. Like, my response and, my understanding, because people were just so hysterical when this video dropped. Oh, you're the feds, you're going to send Youngboy back to jail. Like, bro, if...
All right. What the fuck? I'm trying to call him regular now. Yo, why does Trap Lil Ross have a UK number, bro? Yo, my man's number starts with +44. Trap. That's why I gotta call him FaceTime. Nigga, the phone ring differently when you call. I was calling regular, but it was the international code you gotta put before it. Nigga, oh,
Yo,
my boy, yo.
what's going on, man? Are you live?
Yeah, I'm live real quick. I was actually watching your video because I seen the title and I put it on my list. I'm like, I got to react to it. And you said DJ Akademiks called me out. And I'm like, I didn't call you out. But I'm like, but I know I was a little bit lit.
I was clickbaiting.
I was a little bit lit and tired. And I was just like, usually even when I'm lit and tired, I pride myself on like I'm super logically sound that even if I don't flush it out later on or the next day, I could come back and not fucking just run completely abandon. That's the most embarrassing thing, to say something like, oh, I feel this way, and then the next day be like, nah, I didn't feel that way at all. So I'm like, I know logically I dealt with it pretty appropriately, but yeah, I'm glad to get you on. I was watching it, and yeah, I could tell it's a little bit clickbait. Yeah, how have you been feeling?
You know what's funny, man? I feel like the day after I dropped that video, I feel like 4K Trey stands were hysterical. People like, you're the feds, Youngboy's gonna get locked up. They was acting like the paddy wagon was on the way to YB's house as we was talking. But I feel like once I made that follow up and I kind of explained to people, I was like, look, Youngboy, he popped out with a song. It's not like he just even said, oh, I got 19 bodies. Like, he had a whole timeline. There's timelines on Reddit where they go and look, in this date he got 3 bodies, then he got 5, but then he got 7 bodies. He said he had 7 bodies 2 years straight. He was neck and neck with King Von over the 7 bodies. And then next thing you know, 2022, he got 12 bodies. 12 bodies and 1 child dead. Stop the violence, what I fucking said. There was really 12 bodies and a child dead. Like, so I feel like once he got to 15, he said on my Bobo, he said, yeah, I can, you know, 15 bodies up, tell them fuck with us. He said, I can name 5 people Herm done put down with that pole. Like, he was wilding out. So I feel like it's not that crazy for me to look into this. And then, like, I feel like once I made my response, I feel like people kind of calmed down and they was like, all right, let's check out the video.
Hey, interestingly enough, so I was watching Joe Budden's podcast talk about this. And I thought they were completely off the mark because
I didn't see that. I didn't see that one yet. You know, I need to check in with that one.
They were completely blaming you. They were like, "Yo, this guy's the feds. Yo, he's a snitch. He's trying to put him in jail." And Youngboy is my guy. But here's the thing. And obviously, I'm a little scatterbrained, like I always am when I start talking. But I always remember after I stopped doing the war in Chirac. You know who hit me up and said, yo, Ak, why'd you... I think his direct words was, Ak, man, you pussy. Why'd you stop doing it? And he was responding to, I was getting backlash, like, I stopped doing it like 2017, right? It's been 8 years, right? And it might be 2016, but I was getting backlash because somebody brought it up, like, remember Akademiks came up off Chicago? And he brought it up to me and he said, yo, why'd you stop doing this, man? You pussy. Basically saying, why did you succumb to the hate? It was none other than Chief Keef. And if you listen to my coverage on Chief Keef, I talked about Chief Keef. I called him Baphomet. I literally, because I was doing it satirically. And since he was the best or most prolific rapper of all the drill rappers, I've heard certain things or whatever, but I kind of painted him out like, this is like this overlord of violence and demonicness. You get what I'm saying? And when he said, why'd you stop doing it? You know what I realized? He appreciated the image that I was putting out there, because what none of these people and even fans want to admit, these rappers are living on this image, right? Like, again, you make the nuanced statement of, hey, when you say Youngboy has 19 bodies, you don't actually mean he killed 19 people himself. You believe that there's 19 murders that through maybe like some affiliates and some other beef that is associated, that maybe people he don't mutually like died. Here's the thing. When Youngboy's rapping, he don't make that distinction. He don't say, like, he obviously one lyric he does, but, for the most part, he's saying, I got it. Like, I'm doing it, which is not true, right? Fans don't say, bro, why are you saying that? The fans want to believe it. Okay, cool. Yeah, Von had 7 bodies. Like, think about Chicago when you get to Lil Jeff. Lil Jeff always said, I don't think these niggas can really rap. But you know what? You know when people were trying to put me onto them, their intro point was, yo, he got 11 bodies. And I'm like... I remember that not being the thing that attracted me to the music back then. It made me attracted to, oh, okay, who are they dealing with? Oh, these are the real steppers, but I didn't think it was good music. Now, that's like a cosign of the music because it tells you it's real. So, you can't really win, bro. Right? Like, again, Chief Keef said to me, you're pussy for stop doing the war in Chirac. You know why? Because me helping to drive home that image that he clearly wanted to have based on what he was saying, and you don't think Youngboy wants that image, why would he say it? Like, he's not having Tourette's in the booth.
That's facts, man. That's facts.
But
and you know what I wanted to mention as well? I feel like I really appreciate what you said as far as like there is nuance. I feel like if Youngboy was really out here clapping 19 people, he would have been Rico'd to death. Like he'd have had Rico left, right, and center. But also at the end of the documentary, I try and say something with a lot of nuance that people didn't pick up on. Is I basically make the statement that like, look, did Youngboy kill 19 people? No, but like, did 19 people die about his career? If Youngboy wasn't the biggest rapper in Baton Rouge, would a lot of these people potentially still be alive? Would things be different? I feel like you can say that, and really, even though you can say, oh, he killed 19 people personally, I feel like it's fair to say he probably got 19 bodies on his conscience. I know he don't feel happy about how shit went in the city.
There's a part of hip hop. I've always said hip hop and black culture, to a certain extent, is a culture that protects the idea of criminality. It's almost accepted. It's almost like, okay, unless the crime is done to you or your relatives, yo, why are you saying some shit? Like, yo, why are you talking about this nigga doing all these murders? Like, yo, why are you doing it? And it also kind of bastardizes in a way and babies the people who are proposed or supposed killers or criminals, because you feel bad for them, right? Yo, this guy just shot up the entire block. A woman got killed, a baby got killed, but 4 of his ops got killed. Yo, free my bro, man. Free my bro. Free my bro. Right? That's a fact, right? Like, it's no one ever says there's a victim in this. Right? Yo, free my... Yo, think about if you... Yo, I sat here and covered the Thug trial. Man, they were talking about how people who were civilians that lived on Cleveland Avenue were terrified for their life. They would talk about people who got hit with stray bullets based on some of the gang violence. Nobody ever said, yo, that's crazy, man. These niggas out of control, man. We got to get these niggas. You know what they said? Man, free my bro, man. Free King Spider, man. Free King Spider. Because in black culture, in hip-hop culture, the victims, unless you know them, they're faceless and nobody gives a fuck. And that's the thing that I always realize. That's why when it comes to blame, the blame doesn't go to that person. There's always excuses, right? Like, I'm listening to the Joe Budden podcast. These are grown men now. These are guys in their 40s and 50s. You know what they're saying? Man, but why you got to keep bringing that type of stuff up? And it's like, wait, hold on. So none of y'all see a problem with the actual people. Like, not one time did I hear one of them say, wow, these 19 people that may have died, even if it's, okay, maybe we could talk about should it be attributed to Youngboy, but these people, we should care about their deaths. Nobody cares about them niggas, bro. They just care about, bro, you better not get that nigga locked up, bro. You the feds.
Hey, you know why Joe talking like that though? You remember when that beef went down? Youngboy said he was about to smoke Joe Budden, so Joe Budden ain't trying to be number 20. You remember that beef?
You think so?
I mean, shit. People were saying I was about to be number 20, but listen, what I want to ask you, Ak. This is a big question,
on
right?
the Joe thing,
Yeah.
Yo, I was trying to get Joe to go to So Birdman hits me and he's like, yo, you fuck with Joe? And I'm like, yo, Joe's my guy. I did a show with him. Like, yo, we're good. Like, we're on good terms. He said, yo, I think Joe was criticizing the show or didn't know. He's like, he wanted Joe to come to a show. And he's like, yo, Birdman, if you ever talk to Birdman, he's always like, he talks like he's still in the 90s. He's like, yo, he's like, hey, yo, I get the jet. He said, I send the jet for you and that boy Joe Budden. He got to go see Top for form. And I'm like, so I said, all right, bet I'll hit up Joe. And I hit up Joe, and I don't know, like.
He thought you were trying to line him up, man.
Well, first of all, I would take that very serious. You know, like, no way anybody. I brought Charleston White to a show, and when I realized it might have been not whatever, I made sure, I couldn't do that. I was with Vlad, like, yo, I got to make sure Vlad gets in and out safely, but they love Vlad, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, that was a joke.
So am I blacklisted from the YB shows now? Because I probably can't pull up to a YB show no more now.
No, well, that's why I would say no. The reason why I would say no is that the fans that are responding. Let me tell you this: I guarantee you, some of the guys that's with YB, they probably watched the video. They love that shit. I'm telling you, they're not gonna tweet out that they love the shit, but they love it. You know why? Because Trust me, a lot of time, like, you're also finding Easter eggs. Like, these niggas ain't rapping shit just to rap. Like, they're mentioning specific shit that they want people to connect. But a lot of times, the casual fan, it goes over their heads.
Facts. It's like, bro, his crib is called Gravedigger Mountain, so it's kind of like y'all be calling yourselves the Gravediggers. So I be looking at the graves like, yo, how many graves have you got here in the Gravedigger Mountain?
Now, let me explain you the nuance. I guarantee a bunch of them fuck with it, but let one of them get locked up for anything that's mentioned in it, you're the cops.
No, that's right. Oh, but let me ask you this. This is a big question I got to ask you. If everybody's so mad at me putting bodies on Youngboy, why was they so mad when I said Central C ain't have no bodies?
You damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Man,
You damned
I
if
can't win.
If you say this guy don't have any bodies, yo, you're hating.
It's crazy, but I can't win. But at the same time, I feel like, you know what it's like. You've been a controversial figure. You're somebody that I've always looked up to. So it's kind of like you gotta do your thing and stand on it. You know, you was pioneering with the war in Chirac, and that basically unlocked a lot of doors for you to do your journalism and be the biggest voice out here. So you know, I know you got thick skin, and it's part of the game.
What you're doing is, it's a. And by the way, I've been watching you move. You're sitting and you're standing you're sitting in a hot seat, because I'll put it like this. There's times to do real, first of all, the real journalists these days are us. Like, shout out to that little pussy from Rolling Stones who got fired. Kick rocks, nigga.
He was doing a GoFundMe now.
Yeah. He was doing a GoFundMe, you know what I mean? Kick rocks, pussy. You feel me?
I didn't know you could do GoFundMes for losing your job. I thought that was just for like if someone
Yeah,
dies or if you're
man,
sick.
like,
But
yo,
nah, you
get
get that
out
for
of
the
here,
job.
man. Like, that nigga's just a hater. But yo, here's the reality of it. We're the real journalists, if you ask me, because let me tell you this. Most people create articles and write these little things, and they go with the crowd. For you to actually, like when I was doing either the Warren Chirac or sometimes, like, and that's what I'm saying, you're in the hot seat, because I remember where 1090 Jake was. And I don't know how his demeanor is towards it. You're doing content right when people have mixed opinions. If everybody's just liking it, trust me, you're not being a disruptor. You're not, and again, you don't have to do the content necessarily that you're doing, but the path of least resistance is not talking shit or not offending the most popular rappers and their fan bases. You get what I'm saying? And when I was in that role, I had to say things about these guys based on what I was coming up with and seeing that they weren't fond about. Yo, hey, listen, this guy's accused of killing this guy. I know he's locked in with Dirk and him, but he's a piece of shit. That wasn't popular. Saying that, people don't like killers until it's their killer, right? I used to say, Rondo number 9, we need to get this nigga off the streets. I used to say, that's a fact. Oh, this guy's posing with a rocket launcher. He's accused of killing a cab driver. Keep in mind, so Dirk knew, he had to know that while I liked his music, when I was talking about one of his closest friends, I wasn't advocating for his release. I said, we're safer with him being locked up. It was the reality of it. And that's when you're doing the best type of journalism, as long as it's coming from an honest, not biased place, because most of the people who are personalities and quote-unquote journalists in this game, all they're doing is they're just jacking off the most popular dick to get some bread.
That's why I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Or they're pandering to the biggest audiences just to get some, acceptance. When you could say some shit and you're like, when you about to hit upload and you'll be like, yo, people ain't gonna like this one. You're doing your job. And I'm telling you, only a few YouTubers do it. I think with 1090 Jake, had a right, his heart was in the right place when he was doing, like, trying to expose whatever. He was like one of the first guys doing that. But I think over time, he realized like, yo, this shit is too much headache, and it is too much headache.
Yeah, everybody I know in this space that is in this little space that we be doing with the the gangster content, everybody says this shit a headache. This shit, it comes with so many problems. It's almost like every time I be getting backlash like this, I'm like, okay, I've got motion right now, but also like this is stress. I got to move different.
No, niggas hate you. Niggas hate you. Niggas hate you. Hey, by the way, what have you said about my man 21 Savage, man?
Man, is he mad?
I can't disclose that information, but
I didn't like how he was dealing with Gunner on that phone call with Doug, talking about, oh, we can clean up his face with the snitching. I thought you was big anti-snitches and rats. You stood on your principles, but then you on the phone with Young Thug talking about, hey, for money, if we extort part of his career and we get better splits from him, why don't you just clean up his snitching allegation? I thought that was a bad look.
You must have said some more shit.
I mean, there was some more shit. There was some shit I did recently he probably didn't like.
Yeah, no.
But then he on a song. Right? There's a song
Yeah.
where 21 is on a song with Lil Baby,
Yeah.
talking about I'll line your mans up and shake your hand. And then people were saying on the internet, other people were saying that 21's crew had something to do with Baby's mans that passed away.
Okay, I think maybe that's a thing. I don't know.
I'm hearing from numerous people I can't go to Atlanta. They said Atlanta was too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you on with Savage one day. Yeah, but like this, I would walk you in.
I don't know. It might be too.
I would walk you in Savage's booth. I think we'd probably have yo, get out the booth.
I ain't making it out of that booth. I ain't making it out of that booth. I don't know.
Yeah, but again, here's the thing too. And this is like the thin line, right? The thin line is, for example, all right, and I don't want to talk too much about the Savage stuff or whatever, but like, all right, the Savage Baby, whatever stuff, that's, no one's rapping about it, right? So it's like, it's Reddit talk, but like, neither party are putting that out. Obviously, there's a maybe drill kind of like aspect a little bit, but like, that doesn't seem to be the thing. Like Youngboy is getting on the record and saying 19 bodies. Yup, 19. You get what I'm saying? And then there are certain things that no one speaks about, even though it is industry kind of street talk. And I think they probably look at it that when you bring that to a documentary, it's like, even though obviously the police look at everything, it's like you just saying, hey, everybody start here. I've done half the work, which, I used to, like, I remember I used to have those type of, dilemmas where people would think I'm reporting shit that is not public, and I'm like, it is public. You just didn't do the Google I did, because no one calls me. Like, no one was calling me and be like, yo, yeah, that's the nigga who did the murder, bro. Just report it anonymously. Like, I would look at Twitter. I would go to these threads, or I would just go to public information, and I would kind of find whatever I was kind of looking for. So
I've been told a couple times, yeah, I won't say who, but there was somebody who I did some content on in Chicago, and they was very upset about the shit that was put out there. And come to find out, they was like, they'd not heard of the Reddit. So they heard the shit in the video from me, and then they like, how the fuck? And then they like, wait, what's this Reddit? And then the next thing they know, they on Chiracology, they like, oh my God, but they're hearing it from me first. So it's like, It's like when, you remember when Adam hopped on live with Wack, and he was saying, oh, Ross just sent me this paperwork. Yeah. It sounded like it came from, I was on Reddit reading that paperwork like everyone else.
Yeah, no, I completely get it. Hey, I'll give you one last advice as well, though. I always told people, and when you go down this path, it, number one, it's a dangerous path, just because, like, not that 1090 Jake don't want to smoke with niggas, but I think it's a little bit easier when niggas ain't be like, yo, that's the nigga who ruined our, like, yo, rappers really hated that nigga because his word could end their career. Like, they hated him, right? I guess I say that to say, I know I'm controversial, and I always tell everybody around me that with that, our highs and lows. I remember talking to Van Lathan, and I told him how I roll around, and he was like, "Damn, is that like? Are you happy that you roll around like that?" And I said, "Listen, just like a rapper who got 50 niggas that trying to kill him, he rolling around in bulletproof vehicles. Yeah, I didn't make all this damn money not to be able to hire security. So I'll tell you the same thing. Hey, just don't go out like Taxstone. You get what I'm saying? Like hey, I got in Mano's feelings. I don't know what Mano might want to do. The next time Mano see me, he gonna see me with 6 bodyguards. You feel me? He gonna see me. He gonna have to run up on a wall. And actually, because we're in New York City, 4 bodyguards and 2 off-duty cops. Trust me, them gangster rappers, they tough for everybody else. I asked Shotty and them the first time they ran up on some off-duty cops. It didn't turn out too well.
Yeah, no, I remember how that one went. That shit's crazy.
Yeah,
but hey, there's just 2 more things that I want to mention, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as look, everybody just worships the demon rappers and the body catchers and all that stuff. I did think it was weird that when I said that Central C ain't never do nothing, everybody kind of was mad about that too. But the guy Digger D, Central C's biggest op, he out of jail now. He just dropped a new song called Nonchalant. He talking crazy in that one. I ain't gonna lie. So you know, people need to tap in and find out what's really going. If they want to find out about all the bodies in the UK. The guy Digger D just dropped the song Nonchalant. That shit crazy. And I don't know if you heard about the new guy in Chicago, but there's a new guy in Chicago, a rapper. They're saying he got 12 hats and he's still out here rapping. I don't know if you heard of this guy called Kill Bill.
Oh, really? Hey, chat, let me, or, you know, chat, but also, Trap, let me tell you this. Yo, we live in murderer culture. I actually don't believe most of these guys have all these bodies that's being, you know, claimed. But truth be told, that's the only way you break out. It's as important as the music. So here's the thing. So if Vaughn had 7, and I'm not gonna lie, this is why I know rappers are perceptive. Everyone's like, he's a serial killer for 7. So the next guy, he has 11. Now this guy, who I guarantee everybody's gonna go flock to, he has 12. You know the next guy gotta have 15, right?
Well, Youngboy already beat everyone with a 19, right?
And by the way, I think Youngboy is smart. That's why he jumped. He's like, yo, fuck all this shit. I'm not going to be 1 more than y'all. I got 19. You got to go 20. You get what I'm saying? You got to go.
Hey, I'm thinking when he drops that Slime Cry album, he's going to update the count. Because I seen a couple things go on since, like, I don't know. It could be 21 on this new album.
Yeah, well, that's why also I think some fans are mad because they're also looking at the Dirk thing. Right? Because, again, you're saying, like, I don't believe he did all these things, but people are like, yo, you trying to set him up for a murder for hire. I will tell you this, though. There is some discretion, and I know you do a lot of, like, disclaimers, right? I know you do that. I'll say this. That infamous interview I did with Youngboy, that he said only drop after I die. Just put it like this, man. Maybe I wasn't that caught up on the music, but after the interview, I was like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, it was a little bit too. Yeah, I'll just leave it. I'll leave it there. But
hey, don't let me get my hands on that interview, man. Shit.
Oh no! I ain't get that.
Keep that one in the vault, man.
Nah, I ain't gonna be able to. But yeah, no, yeah. So, how's the interview doing though, or how's the documentary doing?
Yeah, it's been good. You know what's really crazy? It was the last video I did that was super viral was obviously the Ratlanta, just the full breakdown that I did on that. And I would say this is about neck and neck. Like this probably just passed Ratlanta in views. So this definitely something that a lot of people are interested in. I feel like this year I've touched on a lot of different topics and I tried to like really broaden my horizons. I've done a few stories this year that wasn't even hip hop, that maybe wasn't on everyone's radar, but like I feel like with this one, it's just like, look, the biggest rapper in the game right now is Youngboy, and bruh, he said he got 19 bodies. Like, there ain't no way I ain't gonna look into that. So, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, people are very interested in that. So, you know, I'm
murder victims.
Definitely getting a lot of more eyes on me than I've had in a minute for sure.
Do you feel like, you know, and I think this is what some people are coming across with it. They feel like, you know, and it happened to me too, right? It's the same reason why they claim that in their minds, I only did the War in Chirac, then blew up to be me. They didn't realize I used to do weekly, multiple album reviews. I did cultural talks. I would do these think pieces, 30 minutes. Then I'll do news topics. And then when I started doing news topics on drill, they say, yo, bro, you got to report the other side. That's when I made the War in Chirac. They act like that's the only thing I did. What's gonna happen, and it's already happening because I see people trying to criticize you thinking that, oh, he's only obsessed with murders of black men. Right? Like there's no other content that you cover. How
Hey, you know what I want to say? For the record, I never get credit for this, okay? People always say, oh, you're obsessed with violence, you're obsessed with murders. My most viewed video of last year, my cat's jumping in the way. My most viewed video of last year was called the 50 Cent's 20-year plot to destroy Diddy. So last year, my most popular content was not about violence, was not about gangs. It was about Diddy and 50's feud, which right now is the most trending topic in the world. So I do have other things in my repertoire, and I have covered white people before. I've done 2.5-hour video about Eminem and his wife having a divorce. I've done 3-hour video about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West having their beef. I've done video about Slim Jesus, the white drill demon from Chicago. I've done a video on Cameron Terrell, the rich white crip from Malibu's Most Wanted. But I feel like people they're gonna skip this.
You want to skip this clip, man? Yeah. No, I mean, it's also interesting because rap fans have an insatiable appetite for that content. It's not like you're dropping this content like a lot of times and it's not getting engagement. People want that content. People are replicating. I watched a 3-hour video and it's like the many beefs of Youngboy. And I'm watching shit that I didn't even know, but like, or like I forgot the timeline. And really, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, yo, hip hop content these days, most hip hop content is down. It's mostly the narrative stuff. That's why I think it was a great time for 50 to put out a documentary. It's the narrative documentary, like really wrapping shit up stuff that is still like, really, grabbing people because there's too much content every day. You know what I mean? Like the reason why I stopped making like these news updates, there was a time I was fasting on the Breakfast Club, and then it became a time that just posting it to Instagram, it was quicker. Right? So I was like, all right, I'm going to save my conversation around the topic for later, but I could do it on a stream. So again, things are changing, but I like where hip hop is at in terms of, this type of content. I guess people just want to see like much more, and everyone has their lane. Like I go to What's the Dirt for like music breakdown. I go to you for the gangster shit. You know what I mean? Like I want to see the real back and not only back and forth, but sometimes these contextual shit that I miss a lot. Honestly, like, and I know these niggas. I literally miss. I'm like, oh shit, damn, that happened. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was like not too long ago old when I was think I was watching your video and you were talking about one of Youngboy's situations. Might have been an old video where he had a situation in the studio with the guy, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot that, but put it into context and seeing later shit, the timeline match. So anyway, I mean, I'm not mad about it, man, but people also got to realize the fans want this type of shit, bro.
No, that's facts, man. And at the end of the day, like I would just keep it real. Like I feel like anyone that even doesn't like what I do, you gotta admit I'm good at this. Like as far as just doing my research and my digging, I'm not hiding it in the garbage outside Youngboy's crib trying to snoop through his shit. Like I'm on Reddit, I'm on Google. Me and my guys that I work with, like we just good at research, man. And if it's for this a warning, if a rapper wants to, if you hopping out making songs, you got 10. We talking about this Kill Bill guy talking about he got 12 bodies or all this stuff. It's like, bro, I'm gonna look into it, and it's just I'm gonna do what I do. I'm not gonna get no secret background info. I'm not getting Youngboy's ops in the DMs finding out. I'm just on Reddit and Google and listening to all the songs, and I'm good at what I do. So I know that there are some people that appreciate it, but it's not no disrespect. Like I wouldn't have no video to make if he didn't make 5 or 6 songs talking about how many bodies he had.
Hey, to crystallize it, I'll kind of at least wrap up what I got to say with saying this. When I did the war in Chirac, I called Lil Reese the Grim Reaper. I made it seem like he was the biggest killer that ever existed on Earth. That he would type LOL and niggas is dead. And that image, that nickname, kind of had so many people. This is why when G Herbo criticized me, it wasn't the criticism that I really responded to. Is that these guys want to have it one way, right? It was partly because media took y'all's stories. Like, again, people, like, I understood why King Von said, yo, y'all got to come to O Block. It's like a resort. Because people who have never been there throughout the world, you're in Switzerland watching all these videos of people talking about it. It's been glamorized that it seems like this huge elaborate thing when it's really not. And it's impossible for you to say, well, Trap Lord Ross or Akademiks is the reason why this, that, and the third happened, wrong in Chicago without also crediting it. Hey, he's helped the music scene that popped off these guys that turned into other stuff. They want to do it one way, where they're like, no. You only cause destruction, and you antagonize things. Well, what about the times that imagine if I did a war in Chirac and said, hey, by the way, Lil Reese ain't never killed nobody. He don't kill nobody. Matter of fact, niggas want to kill him. Imagine how that plays out in the narrative of how people and then imagine I said about that with Keith. Like, yo, yeah, Keith never shot nobody a day in his life, but he do talk tough. He talks tough.
If you were backstage at the Massa tour and you'd said to Youngboy, hey, Youngboy, you ain't on shit, right? You ain't never hurt nobody. You ain't never hurt a fly. How do you think he's going to take that?
Oh, yeah, he's crashing out. He's crashing out. No. Youngboy's a crash out. No, he's a complete crash out. No. Like, Youngboy, I've said this about him many times. Whether I take it sincerely, some people feel like, nah, man, he be just like doing the most of the time. He's most of the times when you're around him personally, he seems like he's down to end it all, which that's kind of scary. But some people feel like that's not necessarily like it's almost control, but it don't look controlled to me. It looked like this nigga is a professional crash out, and when I talk to everybody around him, they're usually trying to keep him from doing that. So I won't say necessarily that's every rapper, but let me see. I know Dirk within a certain amount. I know Youngboy more than Dirk, but if you had said to Dirk, man, Dirk, I know you ain't on shit. Yeah, I don't think no rapper gonna let you say that, bro. I'm gonna keep it a bean, bro. No rapper.
I mean, only one rapper from England.
Who?
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.